Ao was born in a quiet town called Okira, a place where dusty roads met endless dreams. The town was small, but Ao's heart was big. Every morning, he woke up to the sound of roosters and the smell of his mother's cooking. His father, Baba Tund, was a bicycle repairer known by everyone in town. His mother, Mama Saad, sold vegetables at the market. They were not rich, but their home was filled with love. From the time Ao could walk, he chased anything round like a football. Stones, empty cans, even oranges became balls under his feet. His parents noticed his passion early, and they promised to support him no matter what. At age 8, Ao joined other boys to play football every evening. The field was rough, with no grass, only sand and broken bottles. Yet, Ao played like he was in a big stadium. People stopped to watch him. Some clapped. Others shook their heads in surprise. "This boy is special," they whispered. Baba Tund often stood by the field after work, watching his son dribble past older boys. Pride filled his eyes. That night his father told him, "If you want to be a footballer, you must be disciplined." Ao nodded, not fully understanding, but feeling the weight of his dream. One evening, Baba Tund came home with a small nylon bag. Inside it were used football boots, slightly torn but precious. Ao held them like gold. He slept with them beside his pillow that night. The next day, he wore them to the field, ignoring the pain they caused his feet. To him, pain meant progress. Mama Saad washed and stitched his torn jerseys daily, praying silently for her son. Their sacrifices became the foundation of Ao's dream. School was never easy for Ao. His mind often wandered to football drills and match tactics. Teachers complained, but his parents insisted he must combine education with sports. After school, Ao ran straight to the field. Rain or shine, he trained. Sometimes he returned home exhausted, legs shaking, body aching. Yet every night he whispered to himself, "One day I will make it." When Ao turned 15, a man named Mr. Collins arrived in town. He claimed to be a football agent. He wore shiny shoes and spoke big grammar that impressed everyone. Mr. Collins told Baba Tund that Ao had the talent to play abroad. All he needed was a processing fee. Hope blinded the family. Baba Tund sold his old generator to raise the money. Mama Saad added her savings. Mr. Collins collected the money and promised to return in 2 weeks. Weeks passed, then months. Mr. Collins never came back. That night, Ao cried quietly, feeling guilty for his parents' loss. Baba Tund did not blame Ao. Instead, he encouraged him to keep training. "Life will test you," he said. "This is only the beginning." Ao trained harder, running miles every morning before school. The field became his escape from pain. His dream refused to die. A youth tournament was announced in a nearby town. Scouts were rumored to attend the tournament match. Ao's team was picked for the tournament, but unfortunately for them, they were low on transportation funds. They struggled to come up with the money, but eventually they did, and they went to the town for the tournament. Ao played in that match like his life depended on it. He scored 3 goals in one match. The scouts and people watching took notice of Ao. He was the man of the match in the game. After the tournament, a man named Coach Ben approached Ao after the match. He claimed to run a football academy in Lagos. He brought another opportunity for Ao, but then again, money was required. His father and mother hesitated, but they later believed this was destiny and decided to hop on Coach Ben's opportunity. Coach Ben collected the money and promised to call, but he never called. They waited and hoped he would until Baba Tun decided to visit Lagos. When he got to Lagos, he went to the address Coach Ben had given them. When he got there, the academy address his family was given was fake. The disappointment returned once again. This time it was heavier than before. Ao felt anger grow inside of him. People in town began to laugh at Ao's disappointment. Football no be school, they said. Some even told Ao to learn a trade instead. Even friends advised him to give up on football. But his parents stood firm beside him, most especially his dad. He always supported his dreams of being a football and also encouraged him too. One night, Baba Tun sat Ao down. If football fails, your character must not fail, he said. Those words stayed with Ao forever. He promised to make his father proud. They prayed together that night. In the coming days, his father fell ill as money became tighter at home. Baba Tun's health began to decline quietly. Yet, he still watched Ao train. Mama Saad noticed his cough growing worse, but Baba Tun said nothing. A real opportunity finally came. A semi-professional club announced open trials, and Ao traveled alone to the city. The competition was fierce. Still, he stood out. The coach asked Ao to return for another trial. His heart was filled with joy when he heard that. He called his parents immediately and told them the news. Baba Tun cried with happiness. They believed the storm was ending. Days before the second trial, Baba Tun collapsed at work. He was rushed to the hospital. Doctors said it was serious. Ao rushed home, torn between football and family. In the hospital, Baba Tun held Ao's hand. "Don't miss your chance," he whispered. Ao shook his head, tears falling. "I need you alive," he replied. They both cried silently. That night, Baba Tun's condition worsened. He called Ao closer. "No matter what happens, don't stop chasing your dream." Those were his final words. Before morning came, Baba Tun was gone. The house became quiet. Mama Saad cried endlessly. Ao felt empty. Football meant nothing to him now. He blamed life. The whole town attended Baba Tun's burial. Stories of his kindness filled the air. Ao stood silently, holding his tears. He felt lost, but something inside him stirred. At the grave, Ao made a promise. He would succeed for his father, no matter how long it took. He wiped his tears and stood tall. The dream lived again. After the burial, Ao stayed indoors for days. The football field that once gave him joy now reminded him of his father's absence. Every corner of the town carried memories. Mama Saad noticed her son's silence. She feared losing him to grief the same way she lost her husband to death. One evening, she placed Ao's boots beside his bed. She said nothing, but her eyes spoke volumes. The next morning, Ao returned to the field. His legs were heavy, but his heart remembered why he started. Ao trained harder than ever. Every sprint felt like punishment. Every kick carried anger and sadness. Sometimes he broke down in the middle of training. Other players noticed, but said nothing. He imagined his father watching from the sidelines, arms folded, nodding proudly. Pain became his fuel. Grief became his strength. Without Baba Tun, money became scarce. Mama Sada's vegetable business could barely feed them. Ao began waking up early to help load goods at the market for small pay. He trained in the evenings, exhausted but determined. Football was no longer just a dream, it was survival. The club that invited Ao for trials called again. This time, he couldn't afford transport. He sat on his bed, staring at the wall, feeling helpless. Mama Saad offered to sell her wrapper, but Ao refused. That night, he cried quietly, asking God why life was so hard. A former teacher, Mr. Ade, noticed Ao's absence from training. After listening to his story, Mr. Ade gave him transport money. He said, "Your father raised a good boy. Don't waste it." Hope returned to Ao's heart. The city was harsh. Players slept on bare floors and trained under the scorching sun. Some players cheated. Others bribed officials. Ao stayed quiet, focused only on football. He remembered his father's words about character. After weeks of trials, the list came out. Ao's name was not there. His heart sank. He walked the streets alone, questioning everything. Back home, Ao avoided football completely. He considered learning a trade. Mama Saad watched silently, praying for her son. One night, Ao dreamt of his father smiling at him. The dream shook him. He woke up and packed his boots again. "I will try one last time," he told his mother. Then she hugged him tightly. Later on, Ao joined a local street club in the city. No scouts, no cameras, just raw football and local spectators. In every match Ao played, he dominated the game always and was ranked amongst the best players in the team. During an intense football match, Ao was tackled badly on his ankle, and his ankle swelled instantly. He was subbed off the game. He went to see the club physio after the match ended, and the physio advised him to take a rest for a few weeks. Fear returned into his heart. He thought that would be the end of his football career. Although his recovery was slow and painful, but Ao trained his mind while resting his body. He watched matches, studied movements, and learned discipline. Patience reshaped him, and he got back his form after healing from the ankle injury. A coach from the street league had noticed Ao's gameplay. He invited him to a proper club trial. This time, no money was asked of him. He just needed to show up and give a good performance. Ao played like his life depended on it. Every one of his touches was clean. Every pass was precise. The scouts watched him play closely. Ao didn't know something special was going to happen after the trials. Days later, Ao received a phone call. He has been selected for the reserve team. He dropped the phone and cried that day. He went and told his mother the news. Mama Saad screamed with joy. He practiced, trained harder, improved on his skills and tactics. He was much more disciplined and focused. Soon came the contract offer. It wasn't big, but it was a professional contract, something he has always dreamed of. Ao signed the contract with trembling hands and joy. On his first training day, Ao wore his father's old wristband. He looked up at the sky. "Thank you, Baba," he whispered with tears in his eyes. Months passed and Ao made it into the main squad and became one of the top strikers in the team. Ao started earning money, and he sent money home regularly. He helped young boys in his community train for free. He got them free football kits. He warned and educated them about fake football agents and scouts. His pain became wisdom for others. Ao's journey was not perfect, but it was real. From a dusty old town to professional football league player. This opportunity was just a stepping stone to something bigger for Ao. His father's dream lived through him. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel.